Welcome to the Saturday Night Live Afterparty. This week, we'll be discussing Season 46, Episode 14 of SNL with host and musical guest Nick Jonas. I'm Katherine Coleman, and I am joined this week by Jason Wildhagen and Steve Finn. You can follow Jason on Instagram at Wildhagen Karate. And if you'd like to connect with us, you can do so at snlpodcast.com. Enjoy these selected highlights from this week's discussion. And if you'd like to watch our full-length, ad-free sketch-by-sketch review, you can find it exclusively on Patreon and Subscribestar/SNL Podcast. It's our supporters who make this show possible, and we are so thankful to everyone who's already come on board. All right, here we go. Okay, so John is still laying low after his ill-advised trip to Cancun. So Jason, thanks so much for jumping in to fill in.
Oh, my pleasure. I've got big shoes to fill. Definitely.
But yeah, we're going to discuss this very, very musical Nick Jonas outing. I know Steve's excited. He's a big Joe bro. Is that what their fans are called? Do they have a nickname?
I don't know.
It's the Joe Bros now, so Steve's a Joe Bro.
We all got bonus for Jonas.
There we go. All right. Well, but aside from that, we got a little breaking news last night, which is that SNL will be back March 27th with host Maya Rudolph and musical guest Jack Harlow. I love Maya Rudolph, so I'm pretty thrilled. Jason, you think that sounds like a good lineup to you?
Yeah, it's going to be awesome to see Maya Rudolph host again. She's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Maya Rudolph, she's been such an asset for the show, especially this season. It's great to have her. It was kind of expected. We usually see a hosting stint from any of the staple outside players that they kind of have come in as a pitch hitter. So she fits the bill for that. As for this Jack fella, what is it?
Jack Harlow.
Yeah, see, that's a pretty generic name. Like, he sounds like a country singer, but like I could show up to listen to him at SNL. He ends up being gangster rap. Like, that name could go anywhere. So
I did Google him, so I know the answer, but I'm not going to tell you.
Oh dear. I don't know who he is either. So
do you imagine a cowboy hat, Jason?
Yeah, it's in the range of possibilities. I'll say that. Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to spoil it for either of you, but I also had no clue who he was. I forgot his name 3 times while trying to type that sentence in the show notes. And I guess we'll all see what that's about. All right, well, let's talk about this Nick Jonas episode. Come enjoy a mirror workout with Nathan, Krista, and Shannon Delgado? Jason, how'd you like the mirror sketch?
Well, first of all, like it included my favorite moment. Not to get ahead of ourselves, but yeah, I thought that it was a very good sketch. But when Kate comes on after Nick Jonas and Heidi Gardner come out as 2 very kind of normal trainers. And to have Kate come out and say,
"My name is Shannon Delgado. I am trapped inside of the mirror."
That was perfect for me. I really appreciated that. I laughed pretty hard at that moment. After that, I felt like it didn't heighten, as much or in the same directions that maybe I would have liked, but I thought it was very good.
Yeah, the premise of this is incredibly clear, right? Like, the game is super obvious, very easy to immediately pick up what it's going to be, how it's going to repeat. Like, very clear, repeatable game. And it's funny, I've seen the ads for those mirror things and thinking, yeah, what if someone was trapped in it? Like, that's funny. I thought it heightened decently well. It didn't get to crazy surreal places. But I thought ultimately her tricking Mikey into switching places was a really good place to end to.
Yeah.
So I had a good time with this. I thought this was really fun and really like technically well written in the sense of Yeah, super clear game and everything, all that stuff. So I liked it, and I thought Chris Redd was the perfect voice of reason for this too.
Definitely. This had a heavy dose of all the ingredients of a signature Mikey Streeter
Mhm.
sketch. You had the interesting revolving door narrative structure. You have the specifically named mystery character. And yeah, just a lot of suggested lore that
Mhm.
is kind of underneath the sketch, and you get glimpses at it, but you don't get the whole story. And it's, confusing, it's hilarious. This is up there with the David S. Pumpkins and Kevin Roberts of Mikey Streeter sketches. So I'm loving
Wow.
this. Kate was amazing, just holding the bags with the toilet papers. You could really get a sense of someone that was just plucked out of life and put into a mirror. And
Mhm.
yeah, this poor sweet woman, she just wants to get back to her husband. You feel for her. I love these sketches. Mikey and Streeter are, there's an argument to be made. You can apply these guys to auteur theory for, just how much of a stamp they put on a sketch. Like you watch it and you say,
Mhm.
that's Mikey and Streeter. That's what they do.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's keep going. Mickey's dreams come true at his bachelor party when he gets hard with his friends. And I'm the only girl on this cast, so I will say this is something I have often wondered about. I think that it's a real weird thing y'all do. So let's see, Jason, what did you think of it?
I'm thrilled to be the first one to weigh in on this one.
That was by design, my child.
Yeah, this sketch did not click with me really.
Okay.
I didn't really love the song. Yeah, the premise, it is a weird thing that guys do, on bachelor parties to invite strippers and, get turned on with your dude friends. It's pretty weird. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, the sketch itself just didn't have enough laughs for me. Just
Okay.
didn't click for me.
Fair enough. Steve, what did you think?
Well, I don't know if I want to go now. I was enjoying it. It caught my ear and held on. This morning I was making eggs singing boner, boner, boner. What I loved about it was the different archetypes that were showcased, the different members of a bachelor party.
Mhm.
The groomsmen, one would be the brother-in-law, would be from the old friend from away. They had them all. And what I loved about it is that, they all had their own reason for needing this boner in their lives. And it was a beautiful thing. Like just the absurdity that, like, the idea that a boner is all you need, like that's apparently, like, that's the holy grail to all men, is to just get a boner with other men around. That was explored very well, and I loved it.
Yeah, this one was definitely pretty childish, right? But I loved that about it. I'll fall on Steve's side here and say this was a huge win for me. 'Cause like I said, it's something that I've thought about before, and I just as soon as it was revealed, I think the line was,
I've waited for this moment all of my life to get hard with my friends before I marry my wife.
That is a good line. I'll give you that.
I was just like, oh my God, this is fantastic. And then it goes straight into the brother-in-law line, which I thought was really, really great, because that is such an awkward dynamic. Like, I've been at a bachelor party for like my sister-in-law, and it's like, and there's always like weird sex games, and I'm like, I don't want to hear about her sex life with my brother. Like, why is this a dynamic that we have? um, so that really clicked with me, and I thought this was so fun. I thought the song was catchy. The production on it with all of the different lighting effects, I thought was really cool. Um, And yeah, I was having a good time. My only note would be, once again, and this is a theme this episode, a whole lot of setup that I didn't think was totally necessary.
Hmm.
But yeah, this was a big win for me.
So I'll say something positive about the sketch since I
You
was
don't have to.
dumping on it before. Going back to what Steve said about the bachelor party archetypes, I did laugh out loud at the specificity of the married guy who says, "I needed this." It's like, oh yeah, every bachelor party I've ever been to has had that guy's been there. Like, okay, I get it. Yeah, you needed this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think Alex had the best singing voice of the group.
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
kind
a
of surprised. Yeah. That was very operatic and very nice timbre to his voice.
Yeah. If you want to see our full sketch by sketch review, search for SNL Afterparty on Patreon or subscribestar.com. Let's talk about moment of the night. Jason, I think you already alluded to it, but what was your moment of the night?
Moment of the night was, my name is Shannon Delgado and I'm trapped in this mirror. Without a doubt, for me, that was it. That's the line that I laughed the hardest at, and loved it.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's a good reveal because it's so clear as to telling you exactly what you're about to get, and it was such a fun premise to have. My moment is the turn where we realize what the boner song's going to be about. It's that line that I already mentioned. I waited my whole life to get hard with my friends before marrying my wife. So funny, so catchy. It had everything. Steve, what's your moment?
Moment is going to be Guy Piano.
Hey, piano guy.
My name is Guy Piano.
The best, most unexpected joke of the night. Definitely the stupidest joke. And I just love that they went for it. It was such a beautiful little piece of frill on a really otherwise weird sketch. So, it fit there. And it was, just got me in the gut. And I love those moments where, you turn on SNL and you expect to hear jokes, but when they just snap one in right in the corner there, that's beautiful. And that's where I do my true laughing. So this is the moment for me.
Yep. I love the little, throwaway jokes and sketches. All right. Best sketch. Jason, what is it?
I thought it was Murder Show. I thought it was the Murder Show song. I thought that was the most consistent. I thought that it had the kind of highest density of jokes that worked well, combined with really great production. You already talked about how good the SNL music videos are, and I thought that this was a perfect example of it.
I'm gonna go with the other music video, the boner song. That one just really, really got me. I loved it so much. Steve, what's your best sketch?
It is undoubtedly the mirror workout sketch for sure. That was such a great time. And I love the sketches that, give you a couple more questions to ask along with the answers. There's definitely a whole lore here. We'll probably never see a mirror workout 2 or anything, but there was just so much eerie setup here. I love that it was only used just to create lore, and it almost seems like it goes to waste, but that extra effort really pays off, I think, especially when it's comedy.
Very good. An interesting thing about the mirror one, I really liked that, and I don't always love the first sketch after the monologue because I find that those sketches are geared towards a much more general audience. I think they're usually the ones my mom really likes, like something with a Snapchat filter. So those aren't always huge wins for me, but I thought this one was really, really strong. So I support you.
It's that kind of show. Thanks.
Jason, who's your MVP?
It's Kate. It's Kate McKinnon. I thought she was great at the start in the cold open as Fauci. Obviously in the post-COVID dating 10-1, she was amazing. She had my moment of the night as Shannon Delgado trapped in the mirror. And even in the Cinderella sketch as the, evil stepmother, she had a couple of lines. It wasn't like a terribly important part, but she brought her Kate McKinnon-ness to that. This was a show that wasn't really dominated by any particular cast member, and so I thought that Kate's the one who I would point to as the MVP.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you over that because I love Kate, but I think I'm going to give it to Heidi, actually. She was all over the place in this one, and I thought she was really strong in everything she was in. And yeah, she had a big part in writing The World's a Fun One, which wasn't necessarily the biggest win, but I think that's that's great. I think Heidi is so funny and just seems so lovable. It's great to see her have an episode where she's really shining in almost everything. Yeah, that's my MVP. Steve, who's yours?
I think Jason's got it with Kate there.
What a twist where I'm the only one who doesn't go with Kate.
Yeah. I hate to do it to you, but I think that's the call to make on this one. She bookended the show, leading the cold open and the 10-1. And she was peppered throughout and other great stuff too. She probably made me laugh the most with all of her crazy lines in the 10-1. And her Fauci is it's not the best character she's ever done, but it is a lot of fun. So there's a lot to enjoy, and a lot of it came from Kate. So I think that's the right call.
Can I change my vote? I want to change mine now.
Sure, John's not here.
I'm the boss today. That's true.
He'd be the one to get upset about it.
Because Kate did have a really strong episode. The cold open, Shannon Delgado, murder songs, Cinderella. Yeah, she was all over the place.
She was amazing.
She's Kate.
So you join us?
Okay, fine. I'll give it to Kate. I'll make it unanimous.
All right.
You didn't have to push me too far.
Twist my rubber arm, right?
On a scale of classic, great, decent, weak, or train wreck, Jason, how would you rate this episode?
Oof. This was a hard one to rate because I felt like I liked almost all of the sketches. There were a couple that didn't quite click for me. And, I'm not the target audience for Nick Jonas's music appearance, but this show had some really, really fantastic moments. And so while I'm tempted to give it a great, I think I'm going to have to give it like a decent, maybe a decent plus if I could.
I'll allow it because John's not.
John loves those. Yeah.
I was a little on the fence between decent and great too. I think everything here had something I liked about it. Obviously some more than others. The front half I thought was a little stronger than the back half. But I think, pretty decent cold open, good weekend update, really fun music videos that I think will, stand the test of time. And so I think I'm going to go great. I think it was overall a strong episode, a couple things that dragged a little bit, but nothing that fell flat. So it's a great for me. Steve, what do you think?
Yes, great for sure. I'm going with a great 0.2, we'll say. Because that's how I feel about even my least favorite sketch of this episode had stuff for me to enjoy. There's no moment where I was absolutely waiting for a sketch to end. Like we were talking about, we might have seen the work that had to be put in, and maybe the Cinderella sketch, for example. But around the rough edges is a lot of amazing material. And, there was some great stuff from the cast, the host, um, as musical guest. That was also great. I just thought this was a fun experimental episode with a lot of weirdness to it. And I like the risks that they took. So I think it deserves a great.
Yeah. We get the very easy job of critiquing a finished product. So, uh, I think we all do a good job of acknowledging that everything worked. Everything was good. Just the little things, you always realize after the fact some little things you can change. So,
Yeah.
I thought this was a strong episode, and I'm glad y'all liked it. And Jason, I'm so glad you were here to join us today. Thanks so much for coming
Likewise.
on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
And for our audience, I know you have a show with Boogie Manja coming up this month, at the end of this month, right?
Yeah. So my Boogie Manja team, Give the Baby a Knife, has a show Friday, March 26th at 9 p.m. on Twitch TV/Boogie Manja. So check us out. We've been having a really fun season, and I think we've got a good show coming up next at the end of the month.
Awesome.
Yeah, they've all been super fun. I'm excited to see what y'all do the rest of the season too. So, Steve, and we have a month off from the podcast. You got anything going on?
Well, I'm busy with school works and the like. I'll be staying still for the time being.
All right. Well, I just shot a sketch last week with Charlotte, who was actually did the podcast a couple weeks ago. And this sketch, it's going to be coming out probably Friday. So I'll try to remember to comment that under this video and, follow me on all my socials. It'll be there. This one's about setting up a budget for all the bullshit in your life.
Nice.
And I think it's a good one. So yeah, stay tuned, everybody. And that's a wrap. Thanks to Jason Wildhagen and Steve Finn. And thanks as well to our most generous patrons, Sam Bowers, Neil Weinstein, Justin Gardner, Carissa Eubank, Grace Kogan, and Brian Clark. If you're enjoying our show, please subscribe on YouTube or wherever better podcasts can be found. Your subscription helps us grow, and your support is greatly appreciated. We'll be back soon with a fun vintage review of SNL's Season 7 Bill Murray hosted episode with musical guest The Spinners. But until then, this has been episode number 130 of the Saturday Night Live Afterparty podcast. I'm Catherine Coleman. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.